I can't tell you how effective this show is, like, properly. This is the third episode I've watched, and that intro is still giving me the exact amount of chills hearing it again.
They should just not have the skip intro button there at all.
It's the most useless thing ever. You couldn't, gun to my head, force me to skip that intro. Also now, every week, they've made the intro different.
Yeah.
That's not cheap to do. They are that confident that the show was going to do good that they put the money in.
Granted, like, it's not like this is the first show to alter their intro. Like,
Yeah,
other shows do that, but
I get that, but they alter it halfway through the season, not every episode with whole new scenes. This one was half different than the last one.
mhm.
The first one, all they did was change Storm and Magneto. This one, they literally switched like 6 scenes from the second to third. That's a significant fucking change for the third episode.
Yeah, I guess you're right, but it's worth it. Whatever money they're pouring into this, it's worth it.
It is. It's weird how nothing and everything happened in this episode.
They did Inferno.
Yeah, they started. I like how Morpheus just turned into a giant reference machine.
Yeah.
He just turned into Shiva because she had 6 hands to say I in a conversation. So that's what Morph's gonna be. I'm very okay with that. And like, they didn't beat around the bush. They didn't leave that a mystery. They didn't say nothing. They're like, nope. Beast just was like, you're not her. I literally just carbon dated the both of you. She's older. Sorry, facts don't lie. Maybe someone with malicious intent modified your science. While I was in the room by myself, Clone Gene, I manipulated my own science? What? I understand you're confused right now, but you just got carbon dated.
That's pretty definitive proof.
And I love how we're putting new story beats, but we're not going to let anyone forget anything that happened in the previous episode. Hey, we're going to talk about the Danger Room. By the way, Rogue and Magneto have the Danger Room logged out for the next 2 days. And Morph, with a smile on his face, just keeps clicking the button while he's looking at freaking Gambit. I love how this went from we're superheroes in the 90s to we're complete dickhead adults that are frat brothers. The tone of the show is the same, but somehow 1,000% different.
It's great. I love
The
it.
characters are aged up. You can tell that this is not on Fox Kids anymore.
Yep. The kitty gloves are off.
They are, especially since the big main villain, other than I can't think of his name. The guy that Gene or Madeline morphed with that was using the Sentinels is the first one up is Sinister. He is the X-Men villain that I somehow know a lot about, but essentially know nothing about.
Same.
I know storylines he's involved in, but I know near jack about his actual abilities and what he does.
Based on this episode alone, the best I can come up with is he can just manipulate everything.
Well, it's not just that. It's he can absorb and like essentially live forever. It's so weird that he's such a popular villain, and it's just like oh yeah, he did that thing. It's like I know more about Onslaught than I know about freaking Sinister. But yeah,
But I get it. I get I get just even from his design and the voice, I get why he's popular.
Yeah, here's the thing. I remember Madeline once she was the Goblin Queen. I don't remember how she got to the Goblin Queen. And if I'm going to give this show any shit for we're just gonna skip how we get there moments, Madeline is evil for 2 seconds. Puts on manifests a medieval getup and says, "I am the Goblin Queen." How often do you think about goblins, Madeline? Where did this just come from when you've been evil for less than 2 minutes? What just happened? Were you playing D&D when no one was know about it? What's going on? But yeah, just full on, she's evil. And I don't remember originally how Cable got the techno-organic virus.
Yeah, me neither.
I knew exactly what was happening in the second where he's like, "I'm going to dip you in green goo." I'm like, that's how he's getting a techno-organic virus. I just know it is because you got to screw him up because fucking Bishop's about to leave. He's going with him. I like how they've gotten to the point where they're like, "Hey, do you know minimal about the X-Men? You're still going to basically understand where we're going with all these, but it's still written well enough to where you're going to be excited as we go through it." Because they really haven't been risky in any of these storylines. They're all stuff that's pretty X-Men common knowledge.
Basically.
But yet it's written so well that you're still enjoying it.
I think they've got a lock on the emotionality of these characters so that you can sympathize with them even if you're like not a diehard X-Men fan.
Yeah, it's that, and I was listening to another podcast I'm a huge fan of, Castle Super Beast, where Wooly pointed out that this show has been given the green light to crank the fan service knob until it breaks.
Mm-hmm.
And no one cares whatsoever. Like, they brought up the one main thing I remember about Morph when everyone thinks he dies in like the start of the original X-Men is that he was being screwed over by Sinister. I remember that much. Because Morph is gone for a while. Because many people don't know, if I'm remembering this correctly, Morph was made for that cartoon. I'm pretty sure he was. I could be wrong, but I swear to God he was, because it was just another mutant that can change into things. But yeah, and then again, you're using him as a story device. Hey, what might we be dealing with? Have Morph just at random turn into magic. Why? Because we're going to be dealing with goblins. Let's have him turn into magic.
Okay, so Morph pretty much came out in the X-Men, but the character of Kevin Sidney, he debuted in the comics as Changeling.
Oh, so he was Changeling, and then they made him into Morph.
Yeah.
Okay. That's weird. That is really weird. All they did was change his name?
I guess.
I guess it's one of those things where the kids are going to remember Morph better than Changeling. But hey, now that I'm thinking about it, that's a very calculated name change. What else was big in the 90s?
Yeah. And what else was on that same network?
Exactly. Probably on the slot right before it. For those of you that aren't catching on and didn't grow up in the 90s, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers is pretty popular. Wow, I can't believe that never was. Yeah, that is genius level. If that is why they did it, I don't know if it is, but that is a lot of easily connected dots. So let me just and again, fan service machine. They just showed the famous Savage Land cover for no reason other than to make Gambit jealous.
Yep.
That thing that they did in the room when Sinister was screwing up people that don't know is the cover of Savage Land when I think it's the first time those two get together.
Yeah, I think
I
so.
think. But yeah, it's happened a couple of times, and some people pointed out more than I remembered. But yeah, and also like this showed it, but I just have to point out through all of this, these actors, again, other than rest in peace, can't remember his name, the guy who used to voice Cyclops and Allison Court, everyone's the same. All of them are doing a great job voice acting, but you can clearly tell that they sound older at certain points. Gambit and Rogue are doing the best job out of, and Beast are doing the best job out of all of them, in my opinion, of like maintaining, other than one that I'm going to mention. You can tell with Wolverine that he sounds older.
Yeah.
But I tell you right now, as Jean Grey and Madeline Pryor, Jen Hale popped out of a time capsule. It will never cease to amaze me how she might be the most unfazable, age doesn't affect her voice actor I've ever heard in my life.
It's scary impressive.
She is just unreal. You don't phase her. Nothing does. She is just the god among voice actors.
Mm-hmm.
And like, give or take, as much as we just skip the steps, the speech she gave becoming the Goblin Queen was really, really good. But yeah, and now all we really got out of this is we figured out that, hey, we're messing with Sinister, maybe not right away, and now Madeline's gone. We kind of did a shit ton in this episode, but are bordering back only to being like one step forward. Maybe two, considering what happens at the end, which we haven't gotten to yet.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a second, but I think what made this episode great is really just the stuff, like the stuff that Sinister does in this episode, or Sinister and the Goblin Queen.
Yeah, they packed so much shit into here. Every one of these episodes has so fucking much going on, but I don't lose track of it. They are not afraid to just pack these. These feel, again, I want to say again, it was Matthew Carnes that said it. I feel like I'm watching a comic book.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't we need to keep it simple so that the kiddos understand what it is. No, they're jam-packing shit into these episodes. And they're not afraid to give every single character a moment in an episode. It's not like, this week we're following just Wolverine. Everyone's in everything.
Yeah. Maybe cramming all of Inferno into one episode might be a little too much.
What? Who? Excuse me. We've had her for 2 minutes. Who said they did?
Fair.
They've got 2 seasons written right now, supposedly. I'm just saying. We have no idea who this season's villain is.
That is true.
And yeah, I doubt they were just going to go, no, you get Madeline Pryor only being evil for a half an episode.
She'll be back.
Come on. Come on now. We can't have something without Scott Summers wanting to possibly cheat on his wife. We can't have an X-Men property. It just can't happen, damn it. Wait until Emma Frost is back. She's in that intro. It's going to happen.
Oh, I don't doubt it.
But yeah, and I mentioned this on the podcast, but I didn't mention it in the last episode because I like looked into it and forgot to mention it. We might be getting another love tale that they're clearly going into, but I think they might skip some of the, I want to say, kind of negative parts of it. They're very much following a storyline that I don't remember what it's called, but the gun that Storm got shot with initially it was in a story where that I think it was going to either shoot Jean or Rogue, and she still jumps in the way and takes the hit, and then loses her powers, goes on like a nomad journey, falls and meets Forge and falls in love with him. But then she finds out that Forge was the one that made the gun that took her powers in the first place.
Oh, so they're going there.
Yeah, but she ran into him. He didn't search for her. In this one, Forge went and found her and's like, hey, I'm an old friend of Charles. I'm going to fix you. That's a different way to go about it. So that's cool. I don't know if they're going to skip the whole, hey, I made that gun thing, or they're just going to be like, I know how it works, because for those that don't know, his mutant ability is one of the most simplest ones, but coolest ones. He can just talk to machines and pretty much build anything. He's a technopath.
A technopath.
It's awesome. Like, when used properly, that is an amazing ability. I don't know how the fuck you discover that you have that, but
actually, I'm pretty sure there's a character in Black Lightning who was essentially that.
I like, that's one thing I need to go back and watch at some point. But Black Lightning was happening during the point where my brain was like, I can't fucking do the Air Force anymore. I can't. I'm gonna watch the crossovers, but I can't do this shit anymore. So, like, I've literally only seen him in the crossovers. I can't hear God, that one animated, I want to say it was in Young Justice, but I could be wrong. There's one scene between Black Lightning and Killer Frost that is forever ruined me and will make me laugh anytime I hear of Black Lightning. No, it was Livewire? The Superman villain that is a lightning wielder. Is that Livewire?
That's Livewire.
Livewire. I was wrong. I got it mixed up. They're both blue. Sorry. But like, she's sitting on the ground and like he's charging up lightning, and to hit her, he's like, that's not going to do anything to me. Absorbing lightning is totally my thing. And he's like, well, yeah, you've never had black lightning before. And shocks it into her. She has a borderline orgasm face going on. Like, y'all meant that to be interpreted a certain way, and it was.
I miss Young Justice.
So do I. Oh boy, is there some people at Warner Brothers, no one important, but people at Warner Brothers going, fuck! It's almost like they like these and we keep canceling them. But no, toy sales. Do you know what this fucking show doesn't care about? Toy sales. That is my most hated thing. Hey, people are watching us nonstop. We're getting a ton of money from sponsors, and all the kids are watching it. But we're going to make the most dog-ass, stupid, useless toys that no kid would want, and to be mad when no one's buying them. So that means the cartoon's not succeeding. I'm sorry. I saw the Young Justice line of toys. They sucked ass. No opposable limbs, no nothing. You could basically just pose them and stand them in a corner. I wouldn't fucking want it if I was a kid. It's dumb.
It is dumb.
And keep in mind, WB's good with that. They literally rushed Batman and Robin to sell the fucking Batmobile toys. Anyway, going back to X-Men. I said that this is my favorite show that they've made. And I'm going to be really honest with you. When did No Way Home come out?
That was December 2021.
December 2021. Okay. Other than No Way Home, and this is not speaking to the bad quality of the other things, but more to the insane good quality of this thing. This might be my favorite thing they've done since Endgame. And we're 3 episodes in. I am literally a child. I am getting into my car and racing home to watch an X-Men cartoon. I have the cheat code now. I had to wait on the bus to hope I made it in time. I don't have to do that now. I have a continuation of a 90s cartoon making me race home to watch it, knowing full well I can't miss it. There's no chance of me missing it. It's not playing the lottery with the bus getting you home in time anymore.
The only difference is because we live in the age of social media. So you want to watch it as soon as you can, lest you want to be.
Oh, on Wednesday, I just don't check Twitter. When it comes to Wednesdays, I'm just like, nope, Twitter is off until I get home.
That's smart.
Because it's like, no one's gonna ruin this, not at all. And everyone knows I've like made it point blank. I'm like, if any of you like spoil this, I will come for you. I told so many people that I can't describe the levels of how just excited I was, where I was like, this is the pipe dream thing. When they got X-Men or anything back, I'm like, they'd be really smart if they brought back one of those 90s cartoons, because again, I will say this and shout it from the mountaintops until the day I die. 90s was the best time to live, because it is. If I could have the internet capabilities and the gaming system that I had now, I would go back to the 90s in a fucking heartbeat.
The 90s were pretty great.
They were. They had everything. Now, keep in mind, they didn't have some of the good music like the 70s that Matt just hates with all of his passion. But I love how he just knows it's a fucking timer whenever he puts anything on Twitter for me to say something. I'm just waiting for the next recording we have together. He's going to fucking blow up at me. But yeah, this is insanely good. The voice acting is top notch. The freaking animation is so good. The writing is ridiculous. How do they have the best, possibly in the top 3 of writing of all of their shows, and it's in their animated series continuation of a 90s cartoon?
This is why I kind of don't even care about getting X-Men in live action. It's going to happen.
Oh, it is. Money.
But like, you're not going to be better than this. So, good luck.
Well, it's like, just make something good. And this is one of the things where I try to tell people, a lot of these big superhero teams work better in animation because guess what? You don't have to pay extra money to get another 5 actors. You just got to draw it. It's right there. You want to make Apocalypse throw a fucking mountain at Wolverine? You don't got to pay for the CGI budget, baby. They just got to draw it. It's really nice to have every now and then. And I try to tell people that. They're like, oh, it's kiddish. I'm like, cool. All the shit you wish you saw in those movies, that's the reason why you can't see it. And that's the reason why it doesn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's too expensive. Now, keep in mind, these aren't cheap. But one of these episodes might be how much that CGI shot costs. I'm just saying. It's a lot. But yeah. Really good. I have less than no predictions for next week because this is the most definitive click off that they've done. I assume it might be an entire episode centered around Storm and Forge, because that would be really weird to be like, hey, we're going to be interesting. See you in 2 episodes. And then not continue on it right away.
Yeah. I have no idea what's going on next week, but I kind of like what they're doing is like next week is the start of a 2-parter, but there's an episode, but just like the original run, there's an episode in between the 2 parts.
God damn it. That was the one thing when I was rewatching it, and I'm like, did they have the episode order fucked up? I'm like, no, that's supposed to... Who the fuck does this? Because comic books gonna comic books. But hey, there's a formula I want to get brought back? the way that they ran the first half of the Justice League cartoon.
Oh, like having the multi-part episodes.
Almost every single storyline was split into 2 episodes.
Yeah, that was great.
It was fucking phenomenal. You got essentially an hour-long movie between 2 episodes each time. It was the best thing about Justice League when they first, and then they just got, hey, we're literally going to call the show Unlimited and then throw fucking everyone in. Do random, we're going to go to Batman Beyond for 2 minutes. Hey, guess what? This week we're visiting Static Shock, and somehow it never got disconjointed. I don't know how the fuck they pulled it off, but they did. This week, we're going to have maybe my favorite parent in all of DC randomly get together with the fucking Huntress in question. I can't tell you how much I was like, what the fuck are you? Are they openly like having phone sex on this cartoon show? And the question doesn't know she's trying to do this? What are you wearing? Purple suit, black slacks, orange socks. You're really bad at this, you know that? DC. James Gunn. If you want to get your shit together and have a thing that competes with this, literally start where Unlimited ended. Bring it back. It's a tall order. Go get Bruce Greenwood. But other than that, bring everyone you can back. I'll tell you now, no one's going to not take that phone call.
It'll be tough, but if he can pull it off.
The only thing I'm like, get Bruce Greenwood to replace Kevin. That's about he's the closest one that they got to like putting the feeling in that Kevin did. Mm-hmm. Kevin or get Jensen. I tell you right now, if you call Jensen Ackles and said, hey, by the way, we're going to revive and continue Justice League, would you want to be Batman? Yeah, pay me 2 cents. I don't care. I'm a multi-millionaire because of Supernatural. What do you need me to do? I don't care. They would have exactly this and throw it on Max. They'd have it. I would get Max just to watch that. Because I tell you right now, you can't tell me there isn't everywhere that has a property, something like this that's a nostalgia bite that they can go and they're like, hey, what if we did that thing and didn't kind of care about it and just threw it up there to see if it worked? It's going to happen. You know it's going to happen. It's going to take a while because animation takes a while, but I'm waiting for the first season of this to get done, and they show how, again, it's just doing astronomical numbers, and then they're just like, yeah, by the way, is coming out now.
Let's see where the show finishes in terms of ratings at the end of the season, because you'll start to hear more announcements the more success this show amasses.
Oh, you will. At this moment now, it has more viewers than any of the CW shows ever did.
Now that's saying something.
It's saying a lot. This show got on a more regular basis, keeping a better regular watch rate. That 5 million viewers watching these. That is twice the regular amount that Monday Night Raw gets.
Wow.
Again, to address the stupid idiot on TikTok, who exactly is the core audience of the people that we're all in our 30s with a disposable income? It's us. We get to choose when we watch it. Our parents can't turn it off.
Yep.
This was the smartest show running decision ever made. It was like literally dangling crack in front of 90s children. Will you watch? Yes, we will. All right. I'm just going to keep gushing over it. Mike, where can everybody find you?
You guys can find me on various social media sites at Captain K42. You guys can check out my quick thoughts on letterboxd.com/CoachK42. And you can follow Renegade Pop Culture on Facebook and that place at Ren Pop Culture. You can also find us on YouTube, on Podchaser. Consider supporting our Patreon at patreon.com/Renegade Pop Culture. Listen to all of our podcasts on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen. And last but not least, everything can be found at renegadepopculture.com. You can escape, so do we.
Yes, and you can find me everywhere at Organoid Zero. Sometime on Instagram, but mostly on Twitch and YouTube. And I swear on my soul, I will be back to streaming next week. I have had some of the most ridiculous, I can't get on top of anything weeks of my life for the past couple of months. So, man, I'm trying. I really, really am. I'm going to get back to it at least a couple days a week next week and then a more regular schedule. But all right, until next time, we'll see you all later. Bye.